You know, from time to time, I like to enjoy JRPGs that don't take themselves seriously, or JRPGs that are serious at its core, but surrounded by humor. So if you were telling me that one of the directors of Mother's 3 was teaming up with FuRyu and some other big-name developers to make a brand new JRPG called Work Work, I was like, sign me up! Now called Heroland, we embark on our comedic journey as an underpaid tour guide in the land of JRPGs. And let me tell you, it's one wild ride. So, what is the premise of Heroland? Well, you take the role of a tour guide, nicknamed Lucky against his will, trying to make some money for his family back home. However, due to an annoying fairy and a pricely vase, you are now indebted to the company CEO, Ada, for a small sum of 1 million starfish. You must now work off your debt to Heroland as a tour guide, showing people through the many different dungeon attractions. And on your travels, you may just help out a prince retake his rightful place as the heir to the throne, or even catch the elusive phantom thieves. But that seems above my pay grade. If the story seems nonsensical to you so far, well, then that's because it is. Heroland is just a non-stop comedy adventure filled to the brim with clever writing and a colorful cast of characters to help keep things going. You see, as a tour guide, you'll begin to see a lot of different people, and you have the opportunity to befriend them to see what led them to Heroland themselves. I seriously had a blast of all the character interactions and banter throughout the adventure, and you would think maybe the writing would get a bit too over the top, but honestly, the more over the top it got, the better it paid off. The game does a really good job of being self-aware about the RPG genre as a whole, and constantly makes fun of the fact that, yeah, it's an RPG. Like the reason why there's a reskinned monster as the boss? Well, the dungeon was just short-staffed that day and someone had to fill in. It really goes a long way to sell this game as just being an amusement park. So let's talk about the exact gameplay of Heroland, as this may be the biggest deal breaker for some. If I had to describe Heroland, it would have to be best put as a JRPG simulator of sorts. At the start of each dungeon, you'll begin a tour in which you take your valued customers on. You will select who will be on the tour, their weapons, and your own loadout as well, and depending on the story progression, you may have to rely on certain teammates to be in the party, instead of choosing which ones you want individually. Then you are off to guide your patrons to victory. So now comes the biggest catch. You, my fair viewer, are just a tour guide, and the game means it. When you engage in combat on this tour, you yourself will not be directly partaking in any of the action. After all, these people are the ones who are paying to be here. You're just there to make sure they don't die. So when a battle begins, you're pretty much babysitting your team, keeping them alive. The only input you have is assisting. So if you notice someone's health is low, give them some heals, or notice an enemy's weakness, directly command a teammate to attack it directly, or have them guard up if they see a major attack coming. I should also mention, don't plan on spamming your assist whenever your team is in a pinch. Once you assist, you're put on a cooldown, so you have to make sure each of your assists count. Thankfully, the more you level up, the faster the cooldown is. So yeah, if this is starting to sound unappealing to you, then you may want to reconsider your purchase. However, for me, I honestly felt enjoyment knowing I had all the key components to my team's success or demise. And really, playing the assist role wasn't that bad, and it honestly put me more into the game's setting. Also, due to the nature of these battles, they normally won't last more than a few minutes or so you're always making progress. This honestly makes it one of those games that were probably built for the Switch in mind, even though it's multi-platform. Whenever I had some downtime, I decided to take a tour or two before going back to work, so it's easily a good pick-up-and-play game to try out. However, I can understand that the idea of babysitting a bunch of AI party members may seem a bit off-putting for some. That is honestly the biggest criticism of this game. You may either love what this game is trying to do, or you may hate it. But for me, like I said earlier, I honestly enjoy the nature of the combat because it really completes the whole package to a point of wondering if having direct control would take away from it. I only say this because this is not your story. You're just some underpaid tour guide. This is the story of your guest, and you want to make sure they have the best time possible. And don't worry, the guest will let you know at the end of each tour if you did that or not, as they will fill out a survey about how you did, and this will directly affect how much money you'll get once it's all said and done. In order to keep your guests happy, all you need to do is give them gifts that you find throughout the dungeon, and give them special attention in battle, and most importantly, don't let them get knocked out. By doing this, you will unlock story-exclusive tours that help flesh out your guests. And these events are just as funny as you can imagine. The additional events can go a long way to padding out your adventure. Sure, you can try filling the Mon decks or getting all the plushies to decorate your room, but neither of those really appealed to me as much as doing the guest tours, which probably in the long run kind of hurt my replayability of the game. I think what I love the most about this game is the overall presentation. The 2D, 3D sprite work is very well done, and the animation that they do can be really cool or just downright adorable. They clearly put a lot of thought into how lines are delivered because the emotions of the characters really sold me on different story scenes. The music in this game is also really good too, and presses all the right buttons for me for music I want to hear in my JRPG. Honestly, the presentation is a nice bow that wraps this entire thing together well. Really, at the end of the day, your mileage from Heroland may vary. If you can't get on board with the idea of having to babysit a party through a dungeon, then this may not be the game for you. But if you want to enjoy a laid-back time and some hilarious writing, then this game may be worth checking out. However, it is a bit hard to recommend for fence-sitters with this game's price tag of $49.99. However, I for one really enjoyed my time visiting Heroland, and I'll be sure to book my vacation there once again. This game will definitely become a hidden gem down the line. And that does it for our review of Heroland. This is honestly a game I really recommend getting at some point if you're not getting it at launch, maybe down the line when it's on sale or something if you're really on the fence. But if you have any comments or questions about the game or the review, or the lack of score, by all means leave it down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you guys on this one. And if you're new to my channel, finding out for the first time through this video, hey, be sure to subscribe for future reviews, commentaries, let's plays, and more. And if you really love what I do here, consider joining my Patreon and becoming a YouTube member like the people here on screen. And as always everyone, thanks for watching.